She once wrote that in a letter that it would not. And she said she never told the story to her kids because it was just an anecdote. And it's like, well, I can make it more than just that. All right, we have an agenda, so I guess that was the Simpsons couch gag, so we'll get right to it. Yes, many of you know me as the bank employee, and yes, there's still more tales from the bank. Not quite like Tales from the Crypt, which I haven't seen other than the opening segment. But this week, well, I guess a notable thing happened where it was the end of an era, for lack of a better term, where there was a check printer that was in a back room and it finally got picked up. And when somebody was coming back from a break, I said something about that. I said, well, we got the new one a month ago and they're finally picking up the old one. I guess right off as bureaucracy on why it took so long to get it picked up. And I am privy to a lot of information in my line of work, and I took it quite seriously on seeing that all the boxes got checked on it being picked up, because I found out that this new check printer cost the company like $10,000. So there was an email thread, and one of the things that was said was, let us know when it gets picked up. And I told them just about everything related to it. I said, yes, it was picked up this morning, and I saw this as my baby, in quotes. So I stayed until I saw it being loaded on the truck and until the driver left the upper level parking lot. Then I was satisfied that I had practiced due diligence and all of that. And then I was told not to help out at all with it because they didn't want me to hurt my back and do a work comp claim or anything like that. So the only thing I did was basically direct traffic and carry an empty box that was covering it. I guess all's well that ends well. No, I didn't perform last rites or anything like that. My family was Protestant anyway. And that would seem kind of weird to perform last rites on a check printer, but I'm sure somebody's probably done it before. All right, there was that. Sometimes I do meetup events. In fact, not too long ago, I was emailed about my meetup anniversary, 7 years. It was technically a New Year's resolution on when I started doing meetup, and then a little while later, I finally did an event. And I do events when I have the time. I'm big on proximity, especially if they're walking events. It's still weird on some of the emails I get, like new group suggestions. One of them said, improve your public speaking skills. I guess they didn't know that I'm a comedian, and I'm probably already pretty good in that department. No, that's one group I probably don't need to join. And there are some others where they say it shares some of your interests, and it's like, no, not quite. I don't add groups that often, but hey, at least they're trying to promote themselves. That's all I can say about that. Like Forrest Gump. All right. With my work, that means that the commute can be tedious at times because I live in the East Metro and I work in the West Metro. And it can be tiresome at times to do that commute, especially during the winter. I was taking an alternate route on a iffy weather day and this past week, and then I exited because I needed to change roads, and I was on the off-ramp, and there was an SUV behind me that was honking at me. Even though I was going the posted speed limit, it's like, what? They passed me, almost clipped me when they passed me, and then ended up having to stop at the same stoplight as me. Yeah, you really gained a lot from honking at me and passing me. It's a good or bad reminder of some of the people that I've seen skid off the road during winter weather, and I'm the type that will pass by and it's like, well, I'm thankful I'm not you, or a more caustic way of putting it is, sucks to be you. I learned that lesson a long time ago about how you conduct yourself in winter driving. Keep it between the ditches, because one time in college I didn't, and I got picked up by a state trooper after I ended up in the median. You learn quick when you find out it's a one-day delay on getting your car towed out. When your tolerance for stupid, when you get older, your tolerance for stupid is lower. All right. Well, Alex led off with saying that he was in a boxing match this weekend, and yes, I went to that boxing match, and it was crazier than what I expected. Yeah, I'll admit that was something that I didn't expect to see at all. Two comedians that were going to box. It's hard to say if that's the weirdest comedy show I've been to. It rivals the one that I saw at a gentleman's club, better known as a strip club, where they had their regular strip club show after the comedy show ended. And for the boxing match, which was the main event, they had roast battles, and the last of the roast battles was a couple that was dating, and it's like, that is one thing I would not agree to, is trying to roast my lady friend, because that's a good way of making her an ex. Call me crazy. I've done a roast before. Nobody's called me to do one in a while, but I'm still going to do one. I just wouldn't want to roast somebody I'm dating. I think that's probably a good rule of thumb. I know I'll also remember where the boxing venue was, because it was up in Columbia Heights, and it made a little more sense on why they called it Golden Gloves Firehouse, because it's in a former fire station. When I passed by it the first time, it's like, this is the town hall, this can't be it. It's like, no, this is it. Okay, so I went in. And then, well, I did the movies this weekend too. This weekend's Redbox movie was called The Last Victim. I guess it's a B movie because there are a few plot holes in it, like they never told us who shot somebody. It's like, okay, usually they do, usually they show us, but they didn't this time. And then I watched the Tina Turner biopic. Yeah, I heard about Ike being an asshole, and yes he was, but at least it ended on a high note. Well, that'll do it for me. Thank you, Golden Great. Woo!